is happening, troops? Jeff Batters here, and today we are going to dive into this legendary drum intro by one of the greatest double bass drummers of all time, Mr. Scott Travis. This is a deceptively challenging drum part, rhythmically at least, and I've seen some attempts to break it down, but it never really captured exactly what Scott is doing here. So that's why I created a free PDF. You can download it, hit the link at the bottom, you're good to go, because we really need to understand exactly what's happening here. And when you have a visual, you can see what's going on, you can hear what's going on. It's a beautiful thing. And that's what we do here. We make sure we get specific on what we're practicing so we know we're practicing the right things. That's what it is. Hit the link, get the PDF, and let's do it. Even though this isn't necessarily a double bass fill that dominates per se, it does give us the tools to create a pretty cool fill or fill concept that we're gonna explore in the next lesson. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're dissecting the intro to this legendary Judas Priest song called Painkiller with Scott Travis on drums. And actually, the whole album, Painkiller, the same name, is a great testament and a great example as to how much a drummer, not only just a new drummer, but a drummer with an incredible double bass technique can completely transform the entire band. I mean, the first 5 songs on this album is just an onslaught of double bass. And you can hear so clearly how powerful Scott's contribution to the band is and how it just took him to a whole new level. So if you haven't heard Painkiller, which, man, if you haven't, what are you doing? But even if you have, check it out again. It's just good. It's just good to reacquaint yourself to the awesomeness that is Scott Travis. So the first thing we need to establish is this 5-note pattern. Basically, it's just 1 note with the hands and then 4 notes with the feet. Hands, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, just alternating it like that. The trick is, or the main thing that we really want to focus on, is making sure that all the spacing between all these 5 notes are even, right? There's no extra space in between any of these notes. It's just 5 perfectly even spaced notes with this hand-foot combination. It should sound just like this. All right, cool. Now the next thing is we got to get comfortable with the accent pattern that Scott is using here. It's really going to establish the rhythmic framework that's going to help us play this intro as authentically as possible. So let's check out this accent pattern. It's really just a 2-beat pattern that repeats. And I'm sure you've heard this type of rhythm before. It's really common, but let's establish it right now.
2, 3, 4. 2.
Okay, now the fun begins. What we're gonna do now with this accent pattern is we are gonna start playing those 5-note groupings, really those 4-note phrases with our feet in between the first and second note of the accent and the second and third note of that accent pattern. So we're gonna evenly subdivide 4 bass drum notes in between those 2 accents. And then after the third accent, we're just going to play 2 bass drum notes that are going to be a 16th note triplet. So that's 2 evenly spaced notes. So basically we got 4 evenly spaced notes with the feet, 4 evenly spaced notes with the feet, and then 2 evenly spaced notes with the feet in between that accent pattern. I know it sounds kind of wackadoo, and I totally get it, because really what this is, especially with the 5s, it creates this, well, pretty sophisticated type of rhythmic concept called nesting. We've talked about it before in other videos. The Steve Smith Separate Ways video is probably the most popular one. But that's really what's happening. We're playing 5 evenly spaced notes over the span of 3 16th notes. But I don't want you to think of that because it's way too much to think about. It's just going to be distracting. Just focus on the accent pattern and focus on playing the right amount of notes as evenly as possible with the feet. If you got that, you're good to go. That's what this whole intro requires, and you'll crush it. So let's check it out with the accent pattern. Here we go.
3, 4.
All right, hopefully you could hear how I was really trying to evenly spread out all those bass drum notes in between the accent patterns. Because that's, like I said, that's really what this whole intro is about. And that's how, if you're going to play it authentically, like Scott does, that's what's happening here. So it's all about even distribution of notes in between this accent pattern. So as you can see on the PDF, this intro is a 4-bar phrase. On the second bar, Scott just extends that triplet phrase a little bit longer, but on the 4th bar, he plays this pretty cool double bass fill. And all it is just 4 notes with the hands, 4 notes with the feet, all alternating. But at this tempo, it is insane. He's orchestrating it as snare, tom 1, tom 3, tom 3, kick, 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 kick. But like I said, this tempo is really fast. It's like between like 100 and 105. And it's just really hard to get all of those tom notes to come out that fast. If I were to play it, I would just probably play 3 notes so I could dig into those toms a little bit more. But we're here being authentic, and we're trying to learn it exactly how Scott played it. So that's how we are going to practice it. So let's do it. Alrighty, I hope that gave you some good insights into exactly what Scott is playing in this intro. It's rhythmically a little bit more interesting than I think a lot of people really understand, but that's why we break it down the way we do. Scott has so many cool double bass highlights in his career from Judas Priest and Racer X that we'll definitely be covering some more Scott Travis in the future. If you have a favorite Scott Travis fill or groove, man, leave me a comment below so I know what's been inspiring you. That'll be awesome. And like I said, if this has been helpful or valuable, can you please like and subscribe so we can share and continue this double bass journey together. All right. So thanks for watching. Super appreciate it. Until next time, stay focused and practice with purpose.